All right, didn't plan this one either, but I don't want more days to go by. I'm trying to keep going. So let's look at what we have right now. Let's do make run. One thing I noticed, I think that's kind of deterministic or randomness. See how it goes almost matching color each time? I think it's because I'm using the pointer to the static struct itself, but the way the memory is laid out every time we start, because the virtual memory is probably the same, but who cares? We got this now. We can draw more windows. That's cool. I actually think this part looks pretty good, really. Oh, we need to fix that. Maybe make it like right there minimum. But what we want right now, just for this video to get going, is text. Like this is doesn't say anything on it. We want it to be text. So I think what we're going to do is there's a bitmap font called font 8x8 or 8x8, and it's just an 8x8 bitmap font, essentially that it's 8 pixels across, 8 pixels tall, and it's a very simple font. You can't scale it unless you like double it or draw 2 pixels for each one, make it 16 by 16 or something. But we just need something to have text, so we can have text here, a title bar, something on buttons, etc. I don't care about fonts really. I think this one's kind of interesting. How I'd never done bitmap fonts before, probably last year. And it's just one or a zero. Is it highlighted or not? Which is pretty simple. It's understandable. But to get into true type fonts, I just don't have an interest with Bezier curves or Bezier. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that stuff generally or genuinely does not interest me. And I think it's a lot of work for a bunch of education that, yeah, I just find it uninteresting, and just fonts and means to an end. So if we do need more fonts, we'll probably just go with STB TTF. There's only a handful of things that we want to use libraries for, but that's one of them. Fonts. So, all right. So let me actually just show you. We could just get started. Really, font 8x8. I think it is. This is a different monitor now too, so I don't know if my font size is right or big. I'll have to check it after. Yeah. See, you got bytes. See, this is an A. This is a row, and then columns down. So let's look at so these are all different fonts. Like basic is probably ASCII, and then Greek characters that we're not going to care about right now. All we really care about is basic. So let's focus on that. These are all empty. And then as you see, this is probably A is 65 to line up. Well, is it 65? We'll do it once we have it in the editor. I think pretty sure this is 65. So it's ASCII, which will make our life a lot easier. And then the rendering, look how simple that is. You just get the input, index into basic, and then call render, where it just loops over X and Y. I mean, it's about as simple as it gets. So let's do it. I think let's just steal this. And I think I'm going to put it in graphics. I don't know what I want to call it just yet. What if we just do font dot C? probably that. This is public domain, so I'm going to get rid of all this. Maybe keep that. I think that's from the original guy that developed this. And let's look for our own font thing. It's not copyrighted. I'm just going to put that for now. Care about that. We don't care about that. So each of these bytes is a row in a single font, right? We'll see it as we go forward. I kind of just want to name it font. And this is well, let's just name it as car for now. Font. We're going to do a single character and then a string. So we care about where it's positioned, the character itself, and the color. We could do black, but let's just do that. I kind of want this above the font, but it's got to reference it. So unless we do like, we can deal with it later. We can declare it later, I guess. What did they call it? Like, there was a term they used. I would like to. I don't know if that's industry standard or ordinal. Ordinal? Is that what that word is? Ordinal numbers. So we're gonna turn it. I hesitated earlier on the char or whatever. I might make everything U8. I know that U8s are for like numerical data typically, but I don't know if we get any value from using car directly other than the API maybe is a little nicer. But let's move forward. What is this? A letter? Is that even necessary? Or so each of these is a row, right? So do we want to? Let's just do the natural way and see what happens. Okay, I can't do that. What am I doing? Well, let me do that. Okay, so why? Why is maybe these do need to be switched? Oh, this X and Y is getting shadowed because this is where we want to. I'm just going to. So we're going to iterate through Y and then X across for every Y. So I think it should be Y then X. And it actually could probably be that. Bro. Does this make sense? It's a car, but I think it's easier to think about bit shifting with the U8. So we have the row, and we're going to push one over enough, bits over. Can this be? This is probably a little rough, but can that work? We're going to need to extend this over a little bit, but does that need to be pixel or color? What are we doing everywhere else? Oh, no, we are doing color, but not for the pixel. So this needs to be changed back. This is the struct type, and then we do it into the U32. So this is going to draw everything in the same position. Does that make sense? Kind of does. So we're going to draw it where the X is, plus we're going to move over for the pixels. Do we need to change anything? Let's just try it. Maybe, where's that button? Where's like the new window button? Where do we draw that? No. I'm just going to say 10, 10. You know, we'll just move it from the top left a little bit. A. Let's do red so it stands out. That does not look right. All right, we're getting the. I know there's something along the lines of. Is it less than or equal to? Less than? No, the positive side's 127, negative's 128, right? So maybe it's less than. It's just, I don't think that's the issue, but that's just a little validation. Hmm. So then we're going to get a row. So for A, let's just take an example. This is a row. We're going to iterate over each one of these, and each one of these has the bytes, or sorry, the bits. So then we're taking one, we're shifting it by each bit, and we're anding it. And if it's populated, then we want it should equal one. Is our positioning right? We're moving over each pixel. We have the same. The y value is the same. Like it'll plus 0 on the first whole row, then it'll plus 1, plus 2. Hmm. I'm pretty sure this should be 65. Yeah. Okay, so that we know that's right. Let's leave it for now. It's somewhere right here. Could it have it backwards? Look at he's drawn over the same pixel over and over. Oh, something's wrong. Let's draw. Let's blow up after the first round, like the first letter we draw. That does not seem like enough. Ten. Let's do this back. I don't think that was right. Anyway. How the heck are we getting 10? Oh, that's because we're starting at 10. This is just temporary for debugging. And this is probably a great time to use a debugger. Oh, but the print statement didn't go outside. What an idiot. I mean, that's right. Look, what are they doing? They're doing Y. Oh, but it's because they have it inverted. Their X and Y is silly. That's right. This works. This is what we're doing, but theirs is they're taking advantage of precedence rules, but I don't have them memorized. This takes precedence over this, I guess. This is row, even though ours is we're doing Y. It's just because they have theirs backwards. We're doing Y up top because they're doing X and Y because that's a common thing, I think, like just X and Y, but we're doing this specifically because Y is the row we're on an X. I don't know, I guess it could be less than or equal. Hmm. I'm actually, we want to just, Let's just copy their code just for a sec, because I just want to see. And this is dumb, but if this works on, oh, why? Okay, well that works, but why? Why did that just? Is it my parentheses? No, no. Isn't this what I had? Sorry, this is like boring debugging, but I gotta know for myself. This looks. I feel like this is exactly what I had. Okay, what the hell is that? If it equals one, which means it's not zero, what if it's just not zero? Can it be? If it's not zero, I've got to see what these other values can be because I'm not understanding why that would have done that. Sorry. Oh, it's giving the value is the actual value, like 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Like I thought it was going to give me a one or a zero because the way we masked it. Okay, I'm stupid. I'm sorry, everybody. Does this still make? Like, that doesn't slow us down, does it? Sorry. I was curious. Is that a glyph or a symbol? I don't like the letter thing, but I can't use car. I can't use C. Can I use C? Kind of bad. I could do. So I think I have to have that, right? Yeah. All right. This took longer than I expected. I'm trying to not just hide the annoying parts when you mess up. That might be string, that'd be text. Let's do it this way for now. All right. I would do a for loop, but should we actually do a while here? I never use while, but I think is this it? Because we're gonna check the pointer, make sure it's not a null termination. This is gonna change too because per character we're gonna move over. Can I do that? Do that. This. I don't think this is gonna do what I want to do. Sorry, this is also bad. Character text. The red looks ugly, so let's go back to white. All right, so it's definitely drawing, and I think it's just drawing right over itself, which is fine. So the X needs to plus. This is why we need a for loop. Is it size and equal Sterling? Oh, This is going to be I times 8. We can clean it up. Let's see if it works. Why is it? Why is it in? Oh, we just yeah. We're not moving. Sweet. All right, that actually does work. I've seen this terminology used. Pin x equals. I kind of like it because like where the pin. Let's extract that. And I was gonna say, let's use. What is that? Okay, yeah. We did size T here because of the return of Sterling, but if we just use I32 everywhere, we can kind of. If we got strings over 2 billion something, then we got other problems. And we're probably going to switch to our own string type fairly soon. All right. So does this work? Are we kind of happy? And one thing we can do, let's kind of tie this button together. Um, we're going to say +5 plus y. This is where we might need some abstraction. I don't like any of these variable names or anything, but so we're going to change this to new button. No, not even new. We're just going to change it to button, right? Let's make it I32 because we're not going to know that position. Let's pass in position. And then we can pass in a length of the string. The width and height. Width is going to change. And the height might change in the future. We need to manually override it. But this is Sterling. This is all kind of temporary. I'm not a big fan of this right now. And then we're going to do 8, which is the height of the text. What was 6 on each side? Plus 6 times 2. this needs to be like extracted to button padding or something. Input as a constant. We're doing Sterling twice, which is stupid. Just heads up. The text needs to be that should be button padding. That's so I can change this one part with button padding. Let's do this with button padding. And then the width is n plus button padding times 2. I feel like I forgot something. I did. Oh, that stinks. That's why we need like a thing, like a button thing that we can pass around that has its rect attached to it. So I'm gonna just undo all this, but we know all the numbers now. I am going to just override this. Now that I think about it, I had that wrong anyway. The width needs to be 8 times n. That's for characters. Whoa. Plus 6 times 2, which is the width, and that means I don't even need this. Equals the width. We're just overriding this instantly, which is kind of stupid. I guess down below, I could just pass in. This is just terrible, honestly. Bummer. This has been kind of a brutal video. This is why you think a little bit before you do this stuff. So the draw is, we're going to do +6, 6. Oh, that's going to move it over 6 and down 6. The over 6 doesn't really matter, but there's 6 padding, 8 characters, 6 padding right now. So that means we can just, where this is going to be an issue is down here. We'd never do this in real code. Oh, okay. Well, it worked at least. We click the bottom tiny corner, yeah. And it's expanding if we change this to new window to my favorite. Button opens a new window. We're duplicating the text, obviously really dumb, but we wanted it to expand based on the width, and it's nice because we have fixed width fonts. Okay. How long has this been? 48 minutes. Should we keep going a little bit? Maybe at least commit everything. One thing I'm not sure what to do yet is this. Like what am I supposed to get here? Because this could be a one-off thing, right? You know what it is? I am going to make it a one-off thing for now because this is a new window button, not a new button. So this is very specific to this window, right? Can I don't know if I could do this with strings. I think so. New window text. New window text. That other function. That's static. It's not used anywhere. This function doesn't. No, we pass in the text, so it doesn't matter. So that's fine, but the width and height, the padding, I mean, up above, that's not specific to the font. That's specific to the button, I think, right? Let's make this better. This 6, we want button padding or something. Yeah, it's just for the button itself. That's fine. Fine, 6. Oh, can we replace 6 with graphic? No. WS server button padding. Yes, 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 yes. I mean, it looks good, honestly. I'm kind of stoked about it. New window. Dude, that looks good. This is temporary, obviously. Good, good. Do we have any? This isn't dynamic at all. 0, 0 is, we can have one button in one place and we're gonna have to recreate this rack. That's stupid. But to get where we need to go for now, I think that's okay. You know, you know what we need. No, I was gonna say we need like a graphic surface draw button, which I actually could do. But when we draw it, we're gonna get, or like I was gonna say we could return a rec, but then it doesn't help us because how do we use it down here? You know, the what I think what the other thing to do is I kind of got it. Hold on, can I build right now? If I drew a whole thing up here, it was like almost like another window without this, and and just call it the menu bar and pass events to it, then it could have its own set of buttons inside and just loop over them, just like it loops over windows. And so you could create buttons that were part of the menu bar, because that's the same thing that's going to happen here. The only reason we need this global hit check is we're hitting stuff controlled by the Windows server. Everything else, when we start clicking buttons in here, the windows themselves are going to care about it. So we're not going to have this global weird thing checking for a window button. So this is very temporary. And we could do a menu bar or something along those lines, start bar or whatever you want to call it. So I don't think we should change it right now. Can we do what we wanted earlier and bring these functions to the top? And they're out of order, honestly. Oh, these are going to, we don't need you. Doesn't know about a font. Can I do this? Just forward declare that. And I think that this is the only important one. I don't think drawing a button is that important. So I'm going to put that here to make that static. When are we ever going to draw a single character? Never. When do we need the font outside of font.c? I don't think ever for now. So we don't need to, like, we could do extern or whatever. This is only so we can have our favorite function on top. When people come here, this is what they're going to want to see, I think. But we need a for declare so we can put all this stuff below. I like to put the stuff people use first just so they can, the API makes more sense and not bury it, you know, the important stuff halfway down. That's why I put some of the structs at the very top and people can understand the structure. Dude, we're moving along. Oh, what's this? What's this? That's sick. Fix that. Height. Width. This doesn't need to be zero, honestly. I think we're smart enough to acknowledge that. We can get rid of that. I kind of like this. I mean, should I get better at knowing that precedence? Maybe so. Should that be memorized? Yeah, I think it should. I think we're going to be doing enough bit fill and we should get used to that. New people, it's going to kind of suck. They're not going to know, but we're going to not have to call Sterling in the future too, because we're going to have our own string type. So that's fine. I got one more idea. Let's do pin, right? Did we kind of like this? No, we can't. I was going to say do pin X, pin Y, but we're doing pin X here. Let's just try something. Yikes. This is wrong anyway, because this needs to happen after. What are we doing? Is this not wrong? Are we not moving the way we had it? Or are we not? Sorry, when stuff goes wrong, I really do like to go back. Oh, it's because we're doing times zero. That's why it worked. But pin also sometimes means the bottom. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves because I do think there's some like universal that the pin X is the bottom, which we don't want, even though we do it here. I don't want to use pin right now. just get rid of pin X completely for now. Let's call it a day. I also think that this is that okay? Does anybody feel any type of way about that? I want to give him credit, but all this other stuff is ours. That's a stupid variable name. Are we doing that anywhere else? All right, we're blowing through time. It's an hour. Perfect. Let's wrap it up. I think it's as simple as that. And draw function. Short and sweet. Failed to commit object. That is not short and sweet. I think that's probably to do with my GPG setup or something like that. But I'm going to commit and push this, but I'm going to go offline to do it because if I have to open anything up over here. All right, cool. Have a good day. Peace.